Hello and welcome to the Arizona Wildcats postgame show. I'm Michael Lev with the Arizona Daily Star. This is my colleague Zack Rosenblatt. We are at Arizona Stadium where earlier tonight the Wildcats defeated the number 15 ranked Washington State Cougars 58-37.
Bowl eligible.
Bowl eligible for the first time since 2 years ago. A little blip last year, 3-9 season. Very low preseason expectations for this Wildcats team, Zach. Now
they've already surpassed the win total I predicted.
They did, yes. They're 6-2. They're 4-1 in the Pac-12. They're going to face USC next week for first place in the Pac-12 South. But the thing I want to talk about the most tonight is Khalil Tate's passing. We've seen that he can run as well as any quarterback has in recent memory in college football, or maybe ever. We wanted to know if that run were taken away, if he were bottled up, how would he fare? I think he fared pretty well tonight. What did you see out of him very specifically? What stood out to you the most about the way he threw the ball tonight against Washington State?
Well, he had a pretty funny response to you when you asked him basically what you just said. I mean, what did he say?
Yeah, he said it was a lose-lose proposition for the Cougars to try to take away the run and give him the pass. Yeah, he's very humble yet sort of, I said, sneaky cocky in a way. But specifically though, when it came to the way he passed the ball tonight, what jumped out?
Rich has preached about how good his touch is, and we've seen flashes of it in these, the last 3 games he played, but he hasn't had a full-fledged passing performance yet. It's been all rush because nobody was stopping him, so why wouldn't it be? And then the pass was kind of aiding in that a little bit, but the pass is kind of what fed the rush tonight, and he had some of those throws he was making. I mean, even beyond the touchdown passes, we were just talking about it. You can touch on it a little better than I can, but there was one that was dropped by Cedric Peterson. There was a remarkable play he had at the sideline. I forget who it was to, for 10 yards, where he just the placement of it was just remarkable. There was a few plays, and his completion percentage doesn't look good on paper, but there's all those misses from the receivers or whatever happened, and then those 10 were so impressive. He had 275 passing yards, which is the most they've had in a regular season game since the ASU game of 2015, and a game in general since the New Mexico Bowl that year. They just haven't passed the ball well in a couple of years, and the fact that he's a legit dual threat quarterback, he's a threat to throw, he's a threat to run, that. How do you stop him? You can't. He's just too good. It's crazy.
Yeah, you take away the run, you give the pass, and Jamie Nunley had 2 catches tonight for 116 yards.
Wide open on both of them.
He was wide open. It wasn't one-on-one coverage. It was one-on-none coverage.
Yeah, so
I mean, he was uncovered on those plays.
And that's because of Tate.
That's because of Tate.
Not because of the throw, because of who he is. Yeah.
Right. Rich Rod said that they threw in some new plays tonight, some play action stuff. It worked extremely well. As you mentioned, 275 passing yards. That's on 17 attempts. Okay, I don't have, can't do the math right now in my head, but that's a really good average per attempt, needless to say.
And he had, 150 rushing yards?
He had 146 rushing yards, including an 82-yard run, a 49-yard touchdown. The other thing that Khalil's presence has done is open things up for the running backs. 3 weeks ago, Nick Wilson went over 100 yards. Last week, Zach Green went over 100 yards. Tonight, J.J. Taylor went over 100 yards. And
before that, not a single running back had rushed for 100 yards, which... If you look at Rich Rodriguez's career, not only at Arizona, but especially here, that's crazy. A running back, usually more than one, has gone for 100 yards, even when they were not great in 2015 and 2012 and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, J.J. Taylor, we've talked a lot about how it felt like he was on the verge of his breakout. For most of this game, it didn't look like it was happening for him. Yeah, I think his first 5 carries, he had -1 rushing yards. Then he burst up the middle. Like you said, a lot of it's because of Khalil. There was some great blocking. Michael Tate actually came in on that play on left guard and had a great block, and he didn't score, but he scored on the next play. And then the very next drive, his first carry went, I think, 79 yards. Jacob Alsteck and I think DeBeer cleared the hole for him, but he burst up, and you're just seeing what he's capable of too. And now, when they first came here, I think I wrote something about how this is the future of the backfield, and these are guys who went against each other in Southern California, and for a variety of reasons, JJ being too small, Khalil not being a traditional quarterback, they didn't have as many of the opportunities that they would have wanted, and now they're both here, and you couldn't be more, even beyond how they're doing this year, you couldn't be more excited about the future of this team because of those 2 guys at the 2 most important positions on offense.
Right, Rich Rod mentioned that earlier, how excited he is about the fact that all these guys are freshmen and sophomores and second-year players. Flipping things over to the defense, the biggest play of the night, defensively turned in by Colin Schooler, freshman middle linebacker, a 66-yard pick-6, and he was determined to get into the end zone after being caught from behind against UTEP. Some crazy stats in this game from the other side of the ball. Washington State had 646 yards of offense. They ran 101 plays. Tyler Helinski came in the game and threw for 509 yards.
We don't know why Luke Falk was out. It seemed like he was benched for poor performance because you should never know with Mike Leach, but yeah, I don't know. That was weird.
Right. They had 32 first downs to Arizona's 14. And yet, 3 of their touchdowns came off of turnovers.
And what's the third down stat?
The third down stat is 4 for 18. That's a huge improvement over last week for sure. This last stretch, that was a huge point of emphasis coming into the week. It was a bend but don't break performance, unlike anything I've ever seen. You give up that many points and yet win by that many yards, and yet win by 21. I think it just shows that they've got resourceful guys. They've got competitors now.
Playmakers.
They stuck
Athletes.
with it.
Yeah. It was funny. Colin Schooler, I always say to you, it seems like he makes at least one play, usually more than one every game. And he's like the most humble dude you'll on a team of humble guys, which is something to write about maybe in the future for us. But on a team of humble guys, Colin Schooler, he kind of casually was like, it just seems like the ball's always coming in my direction or something like that. So, and he makes the play, and he's a freshman, and Scooby Wright was in the building today, and we hear those comparisons a lot. He's looking like him right now.
He even made a joke during the press conference tonight about how often he uses the term lucky to kind of describe everything that he's done. I got to tell you, it's not luck.
At some point, it's not luck anymore.
No, it's not luck. It's skill. He definitely has a rare and innate sense of finding the ball, and then doing something with it. He showed great instincts and athleticism on that play, running it for a touchdown. And now, Zach, we head into Los Angeles next week.
Back to your old stomping grounds.
Back to my old stomping grounds. USC, Arizona. Man. Probably going to be a late game. ESPN has the first pick at 7:45. Probably going to be Arizona.
Looks like USC's beating ASU. So
it's probably going to be Arizona against USC in a classic Pac-12 after dark matchup, with first place on the line in the South. Can you believe this is going to happen?
If you had said that to me 4 weeks ago, I'd be like, okay, Mike, maybe you should retire now. You've lost it. It's insane.
Too many hits to the head, right?
The flu. You got the flu.
The flu. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we're seeing things here. I think this is actually happening.
It's crazy. It's exciting. It's fun.
It is crazy, exciting, and fun. All right, that's our show for tonight. You can check out all of our work at Tucson.com, as well as the free Wildcaster app, and be sure to subscribe to our Wildcast podcast too. Where we talk about all this stuff and more, plus basketball.
Basketball starting next week. Exhibition games.
All right, for Zach, I'm Michael. We'll see you next time.